Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
While I have little interest in food, I will admit to a weakness for this one dish.
I think I like this, but it's been a while, so I'm not sure. Happy, have we not discussed your revolting table manners enough?
Here we go again. Food tastes better when I eat it like this, Coco.
Yeah, you just get it, Professor. This is my favorite.
That looks appetizing.
This is my favorite. I am rather happy you went out of your way to pick it, Professor.
Eating delicious food really takes my worries away. Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
This is delicious! My absolute favorite!
Professor! Hello, Professor. You're really on the move today. A lot to get done, I take it? I'm happy to help. Tell me, is there anything I can do to lighten your load a bit? Oh, surely there must be something. Don't be shy about asking for help. We're practically siblings, after all, cut from the same cloth. I was raised by Gerald just as you were, so we should have no trouble getting along. Huh? Did I not mention that? How thoughtless! What an embarrassing gaffe! My parents died when I was small, and I came to live in the monastery. It was an aimless existence. But sometimes a knight would pass by wearing magnificent armor. That knight was Geralt. And the first time he laid eyes on me, he made me his squire. What was he thinking, huh? No kidding. I don't think I'll ever fully understand his logic. Later, I heard that the squire preceding me had died of a terrible plague. I looked a bit like him and was about the same age, so Gerald thought me a suitable replacement. A little nutty, old Gerald, there's no doubt about that. Quite a character. All that was more than 30 years ago. How time flies. That's right. I wasn't even 15 years old. Well, Gerald hardly seems to have aged since then. In fact, over drinks he once told me, perhaps that's a story for another day. At any rate, that's Gerald for you. One of a kind. I don't think there's anyone else quite like him. Right. Well, now you've heard my whole story. I hope that you understand now why I feel such a strong sense of attachment to you. If you're ever in a bind, just give me a holler. I'll help however I can. Indeed, indeed. Well, I'll let you get back to it. But truly, if I can take anything off your plate, don't hesitate to let me know.
Maybe.
Our voices are all over the place. We must learn to work together in harmony.
I'll keep my voice down. Don't want people thinking I'm vying for attention. But how loud is too loud? Perhaps. May the goddess protect dear Flame until she returns to us. Yes, that is surely mine. I appreciate you bringing this to me.
Such power dwells within.
My efforts bear fruit at last. My effort.
I learn with my heart, not my head. Not bad. You're laying it on a little thick. Not bad.
Thanks for the tips. All thanks to you.
done it alone. Who am I to turn down praise? Brings back memories. Brings back memories. I'm a well-oiled machine. Couldn't have done it alone.
I've really grown. I'll keep trying my best. I can't believe I got it right. No, I just got lucky. I've really grown. I think I've got the hang of it.
You're a good professor. You're a good professor. You're a good professor. Technique never betrays.
That went way better than expected. That went way better than expected. Nailed it! Perfect! I'll get it next time, too. Thanks for your help.
Professor.
You're certainly not going easy on me. You fight like a mercenary, not a knight. You hunger for victory, pure and simple. You may not be aware of it yourself, but I see it. Indeed. Knights ought to have some hunger. I've always thought so. They depend too much on their swords. Only when they're wrested away do knights consider their hands and feet as weapons. That's not how it was for warriors of old. They weren't limited by their tools. Victory is what matters, not the method of achieving it. That's the attitude to adopt. I detect that in your style. It is plain to see. You may take it however you like. I believe the difference between us lies within that hunger. But where does it come from? From the start, I was aiming to win. Yet I couldn't defeat you. Then I remembered something you said before. Indeed. I was raised to value strength above all else, whereas you had a reason, an ambition, pushing you toward that hunger. So tell me, what was the reason? Why were you driven to become so strong? Spoken like a knight. That's not what I would have expected. So that is the source of your hunger. I suppose I must find my own. If we're to get along, I think not. I'll be content if you continue to train with me. Perhaps it will come to me as I swing my sword.
Oh, it's you. Out late again, I see. What brings you here? Is it that obvious? I despise being cooped up when sleep evades me. I just have to get some fresh air. So I see. Still, it's ill-advised to stay up so late. I should get some sleep too, but... Have you ever felt a sort of longing for the outdoors? I have. There are times I long for the warmth of the sun, for a sweet breeze on my face. Do you remember what I told you the other night? About my past? None of my siblings had a chance to lead the sort of life they deserved. An ordinary life. My siblings and I we were imprisoned underground, beneath the palace. The objective was to endow our bodies with the power of a major crest. I have always possessed the crest of Saros, inherited through the Hresvelg bloodline. But it was only a minor crest, and most of my siblings bore no crest at all. In order to create a peerless emperor to rule Fodlan, they violated our bodies by cutting open our very flesh. Now here I stand, the fruit of that endeavor, Edelgard von Hresvelg. But that came at too high a price. The others were sacrificed. Ours weren't the only lives devastated by that terrible process. Innocents died as well, without even knowing what they were dying for. And there you have it, the truth of the Hresvelg's empire. It is. But when you see my true strength, you will know that I speak the truth. I have kept it hidden all this time, but I will reveal to you the power of my second crest. It is the same as yours, the crest of flames. When it manifested for me, I swore a silent oath. For the sake of my family, and for all the poor souls whose lives were traded for my existence. For their sake, I will build a world where such meaningless sacrifice is never again sanctioned. As Emperor, I will change the world. I swear it.
Great timing, Professor. I was just going to come find you. Are you busy? I have a question about formations. I don't understand them at all. Are the speed of battle and the terrain connected somehow? There's too much to memorize. I don't? Then what do I have to know? I think I understand the basics. To start, you just... Ah, okay. I think I've got it. Thanks for the help, Professor. Brains and brawn. You've really got it all. With your help, I should have no trouble becoming a proper knight. Huh? Didn't I tell you? My parents were merchants of the Alliance. They died in an accident. That's why it's up to me to look after my little sis. I'm not great with bookkeeping, so I don't think I'd make a good merchant. I talked to Grandpa, and he suggested I become a knight. So I sold all our valuables and used the money to pay my way into the academy. My sis won't survive if I get kicked out, so I can't give up now. I might have tried being a mercenary if I didn't have my little sis to look after. I probably shouldn't say this, but being a mercenary does sound like an easier life. Mercenaries have no responsibilities, and no one else to worry about. But someone's got to take care of my little sis, so that's out of the question. Serving as a knight in a noble house is more secure, And you don't have to worry about dying, unless there's a war. My sis has been through so much. I don't want her to have to worry about me. Hey, do you have any siblings, Professor? Then you probably think I'm missing out on my freedom, having to support her, huh? But working hard for my sister isn't too bad. Call it a burden, call it a challenge. If it makes my sister happy, I'm happy too. You should ask your father to have some more kids. Anyway, that's why I've got to become a proper knight.
It is a perfect day to exert oneself.
Sorry you're stuck with me.
Amazing, no?
Not a total waste.
I'm a quick study.
Got it. Good to go.
I'm a natural.
I'm certain I've improved.
Better than before.
It's starting to make sense.
Hello, Professor. It is so nice to see you here. It brings me great joy to know that you wish to visit with me again. I have this odd feeling that recently you've been trying to avoid me. I am relieved to hear that. In any case, I am delighted by this opportunity to speak with you again. My, how laughable I must seem. I imagine you must be dumbstruck by how unbecoming my behavior is for the Archbishop of all of Fodlan. Oh, please do not waste your apologies on me. I am perhaps oversensitive, but thank you all the same. You are very kind. In any case, how are you feeling? Have you experienced anything strange since you began wielding the Sword of the Creator? Oh, there are just so many legends about that blade. I was worried that carrying it may result in some strange side effect. Has there really been nothing odd? A tightness in your chest? Strange dreams? Anything of the sort? Strange dreams, you say? They may very well have something to do with that relic of yours. Please know that you are welcome to come to me about anything. I am here for you, always. By the way, when I see you at work giving such splendid guidance to all of your students, I want you to know that it brings me great joy, as though I myself am receiving the benefit of your kindness.
Completely unreasonable. How will I see to this?
Hubie, what are you doing here?
A routine matter. No cause for concern.
Ah, so it's something to do with 80 then.
And?
She really is all you ever think about, isn't she? Look, I know you're doing all this so that she'll like you, but if you go too far, she'll end up pushing you away. Maybe even hate you.
This has nothing to do with swaying Lady Edelgard's sentiments. I am simply her humble servant. I do what is in her best interest. Whether she cares for me or not is irrelevant.
It really doesn't look that way to me. I bet you'd follow any order Adi gave if you thought it would make her like you. Am I right?
Any order? What a thing to suggest. But the answer is no. I will decline any directive that I deem would not be beneficial to her.
Is that right? So, just for example, if Adi commanded you to find yourself a suitable wife, would you do it?
If it would benefit her in some way for me to marry, then yes, I would marry.
It's easy to say that now, with no bridal party in sight. But if it was the day of the wedding? Nah, I don't believe that.
I don't care what you believe. My only wish is to see Lady Edelgard fulfill her ambitions. All other matters pale in comparison.
Hubie, pale in comparison? You've seen too many operas. I don't think you understand how the world works. At all.
And I don't care what you think either. I would make any sacrifice to support Lady Edelgard. It's a shame you've never experienced such devotion.
You're right. I don't have anyone like that right now. But maybe someday I will.
Then maybe someday you'll understand. Until then, we will never see eye to eye. Now, if you will excuse me, I have much to do.
Hubie, I don't get you. Although I do find your point of view just fascinating.
Ah, Marianne. Praying to the goddess?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. So persistent in your devotion. I quite admire that about you.
Oh, no. It's not like that.
No need for false modesty. I hardly know anyone with more piety.
I need to be going.
Wait a moment.
Oh, yes? Did you need something?
I have a suggestion. I have been meaning to tell you about it for a while. Have you ever considered projecting more confidence? Your every word is laden with pessimism and devoid of enthusiasm. To gain the trust of commoners, you must appear self-assured at all times.
I have no need to earn the trust of the common people as a noble. All I want is to live a quiet life and to not be a bother to anyone. I dare not hope for anything beyond that.
But you are the only daughter of the esteemed Margrave Edmund. Regardless of what you hope for, you must concede that you have inherited certain responsibilities by virtue of your birth.
If that's the case, then I don't care to be a responsible person. Farewell.
One would think she does not wish to be a noble.
That reminds me, Ferdinand. I wonder if a certain rumor has already reached your ears.
I suspect I know what you are referring to. A certain noble who caused a stir at one of the local taverns, correct? For someone of status to make such a scene. What a disgrace.
I thought just the same. A noble ought to hold himself to a higher standard. It is hardly appropriate to drink and mingle with a tavern full of commoners.
Oh, that is not quite what I meant. I do not object to a noble patronizing their local establishments. In fact, I would say such excursions have value.
Is that so? I would be very curious to hear what value you mean exactly. But allow me first to venture a guess. Is it that you suppose it is proper for a noble to bolster a town's wealth with his patronage? If that is your thinking, then I would counter that whatever one adds to a merchant's coffers seldom makes it to the pockets of the townsfolk. I think that if a noble wishes to use his resources to ease the burdens of the commoners, he ought to go about town and spend it more directly.
That is wonderfully insightful, Lawrence. Albeit not what I had in mind. What I meant was this. We can benefit from crossing the threshold and learning more about regular folk. We scarcely understand the reality of their lives. In turn, they do not know about us. I have heard that some believe we have horns growing from our heads. It is an embarrassing and potentially perilous state of affairs.
You are quite right. In fact, that reminds me of something a boy once said to me when I visited a village on my family's territory. He actually asked me if I had a tail. Hilarious.
We all need a laugh now and then. As a man of status, I feel it is my calling to right the world's wrongs. But there's only so much I can do alone. Working in tandem, though, you and I could make tremendous accomplishments.
My sentiments exactly. Together we could achieve a great deal. Though the circumstances of birth may have placed one of us in the Empire and the other in the Alliance, we can still study and fight together.
Yes, precisely. Together, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. By the way, Lawrence, do you have a tail?
Aha, Lysithea. It's wrong to tease, yet I can hardly help myself. I know a secret. Your secret, in fact.
I think you mean a baseless rumor. Why are you wasting your time? And mine, for that matter.
Well, it's a secret that could completely overturn what is considered common knowledge in crest research.
Shut your mouth! Just... Let's go talk somewhere other than here. Okay, where did you hear about it?
There was a sort of accident in Professor Hanneman's room.
I should have figured. You haven't told anyone, have you?
Of course not. If someone else were to learn you have 2 crests, I might lose you as a test subject.
Please stop talking so loudly. So what if I have 2 crests? If you insist on speaking of it, please do so quietly.
My intuition was correct. You do have 2 crests.
Wait, what? Did you just trick me?
Trick is such a strong word. I think of it as testing a hypothesis. The truth is, I simply made an educated guess.
Well, now that I've confirmed it for you, there's not much I can do.
I disagree. For example, you could tell me if you were born with them, or is the source magical? What does it feel like to use both crests at the same time? Is it pleasant, painful, euphoric?
Enough is enough! I am done talking about this. As though I'd speak of this to the likes of you.
I understand her desire for privacy, but to refuse my request for knowledge? It's rude.
Thank you so much.
It seems Flane is still missing. What could have happened to her?
Everyone, hurry! I heard a scream coming from Professor Yuritsa's room!
Yuritsa. Ah, the combat professor with the mask. He has always been rather suspicious. We must hurry.
Professor Yuritsa? Are you there?
He does not seem to be here. On the ground! Professor Manuela!
She's unconscious. Someone clearly attacked her.
Look at her hand. It looks as though she is pointing at something. There.
There's an opening behind that shelf. Perhaps a secret passageway.
What is the meaning of... Wait, is that Manuela? What happened here?
We know as much as you do. She needs to be taken to the infirmary.
Yes, of course. And quickly. Give me a hand, child.
Understood. I'll support her head. Professor, I'll be back shortly. Please be careful.
Does this mean Professor Yuritsa did it? Could he also have kidnapped Flane?
We should start by investigating this passageway. Do you agree, Professor? Agreed. The culprit could be hiding inside.
That settles it. We'll take the offensive. Here we come, you monsters!
Shall we, Professor? I never would have imagined. I see someone. They're unconscious. Yes. And there is someone else, too. It appears to be another student.
Someone's coming. I recognize that Scythen mask. It's that jerk we fought at the Holy Mausoleum.
That sword. You must be. One of us will die. The other will live. I will enjoy this dance of damnation.
Our objective is to recover Flame. Let us hope we are not too late. Something odd about the floor over there. What will happen if we step on it?
Sure thing.
Yep.
Put me in there.
As you wish.
Oh no. That's my cue.
hardly worth my time.
Ready.
Stay focused.
Leave it to me. Let's get to it.
I'm shocked you made it easy. This is harder than expected. How humiliating.
Shot!
Pathetic. You could have at least tried. Any experience is worth having.
Better accept it.
Face it, I'm better than you. Now that feels good.
Nice try. Another one down. I'm aiming high.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Contraptions in the floor. Stay alert.
This is what I do.
That is that. We must all do our part.
Wait for my next brawl.
I aim for greatness.
Not quite what I was after.
No one makes it past me. I owe you one.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see them handle this.
For Lady Edelgard.
Can I go now? I guess hard work does pay off.
Thank you.
Sweet of you.
No biggie. I'll back you up.
Think this'll work?
Stronger than this?
I'll keep it simple.
That takes care of that.
You're making me look bad.
Baby steps, I guess.
It is decided.
Take me seriously. I've got many skills, you know.
Quit bugging!
That's what you get. Didn't you hear? I'm dangerous. next? My technique could use some polish.
How do you like that? Gotta keep improving.
So you have come. I'll make sure you never leave.
Adorable. Don't forget who you're dealing with. I'll never be satisfied.
Thanks for helping.
Let the lesson begin! You fought well.
Nighty-night.
Good enough for me.
Interesting apparatus. I wonder if we can operate it.
Face it, I'm better than you.
No hesitation.
That is that.
Stronger the better.
Predictable. As expected.
I'm not setting a very good example.
How sweet! Yep.
As you wish. As you wish.
Sure thing.
Yep. Ready.
Stay focused. Should I have held back?
Kill them.
Halt. You're having a bit too much fun.
You are getting in the way of my game.
Huh. You'll have more opportunities to play soon. Your work here is done.
Understood. I will go.
We will cross paths again. I am the Flame Emperor. It is I who will reforge the world.
Flame Emperor? Rather worrisome that he sounds intent on showing up again.
Are they both okay? We should get them out of here. The enemy is withdrawn. Let's carry them up.
They're pale and their pulses are slow. Still, I don't believe their lives are in danger.
You found Flame? Where?
You missed the most important part of the mission. We found her within that secret passage. The culprits were the Death Knight and... what was his name? Ah, the Flame Emperor. Sadly, they got away.
All that matters is Flame's safety. Right, Professor?
We will take these two to the infirmary. Professor, please inform Sedith.
Whatever the circumstance, I'm glad Flame is safe. Though I'm curious to find out who that other girl is. Huh? Professor? Is that a smile? You look happy. I don't think I've ever seen you like this before. Anyhow, we should hurry to Sedith. He must be beside himself by now.
Professor, please allow me to express my eternal gratitude once more. Flame is safe and sound, and I have you to thank for that. Mere words could never express how thankful I am. I am indebted to you. Yes, indeed. I too am overjoyed. Her kidnapper was the masked knight who vanished during the Rite of Rebirth, the one known as the Death Knight. Considering the circumstances, it seems plausible to assume that his true identity is Yuritsa. And we cannot forget about the mysterious Flame Emperor. His true motives are yet unclear. However, I have an idea. I believe the enemy may have been after Flame's blood. The blood that flows through her veins is special. It is extremely rare, and extremely dangerous. If enemies who know the secrets of Flame's blood have appeared, our only option is to leave the monastery and go into hiding.
Brother, wait.
Flame, what are you doing here? You should be resting.
I do not like the path of your thoughts. I do not wish to live in some lonely, remote location where I never get to see anyone. Not ever again.
If we stay here, you may be targeted again. Wouldn't it be better for the two of us to live in peace?
Even if we ran off to some new, secret location, there is no guarantee that they would not find us. That is why I believe it would be safest to stay in the monastery, where we are surrounded by capable knights and professors.
I see your point. I do. However...
You know it is the only reasonable option. What if I were to join the professor's class? You think so too? I am so very pleased to hear that. With a professor like you nearby, I shall be safe no matter what foe should appear.
I see. I am afraid you have a good point. Professor, due to my position, I have closely scrutinized everything about you. After all that has happened, I must admit that you are indeed a trusted ally. So what say you? Can I entrust you with Flame's safety?
I am so glad that Flame is safe. Yet I can't help but wonder what the story is about that other girl. She wore the uniform of the academy, but who is she?
Well done, Professor. I see that I was right to ask your class for assistance. I have been told that Manuela and Flame are recovering nicely, as is Monica. Monica, the girl you rescued along with Flame, is also a student of the Officers' Academy. However...
She is a student from last year's class. She went missing just before she would have graduated. It never occurred to us that something might have happened to her at the monastery. We assumed she had run away. I never dreamed that we would find her. Not like this.
Monica has asked to rejoin the Black Eagle House once she has fully recovered. Our enemies are still out there, so we must remain cautious and continue our investigation. However, we must also help the students to move on from this incident.
After all, the Battle of the Eagle and Lion will be held in Gronder Field next month.
Yes, the students will remember it for the rest of their lives. Please guide them so that they may show us their best at the coming battle.
So, you'll be going to Gronder Field next month. You've never been there before, have you? There is unease in the western side of the Empire, but everything east of the capital, Enbar, is stable. Well, there was a noble rebellion a short while ago, but it didn't amount to much. I have my own mission. The Church has always been quick to make use of those who work for them. What I'm more concerned about is finding out who among us is pulling the strings. Ever since the Rite of Rebirth, strange groups have been seen around Garreg Mach and elsewhere too. There was also an incident where some knights investigating these suspicious strangers turned up dead. Not that it's likely, but if something like that ever happens to me, search this room, every corner, behind every shelf. I'm going to leave something for you. Don't just nod solemnly. There's nothing to worry about. I'm just being cautious. Then again, I guess you're always solemn.